you guys, it is me, Laura, with scraps of encouragement. Let's see if I can get the lighting better. Oh, there we go. I am here with you to do a live tutorial. This is the first time I've done a live tutorial, so we'll see how this goes. Hopefully it will go well. But I have had a request to show you guys how I did these friendship bookmarks, and when I made them, of course, they don't have to be used this way. My intent was that you keep one, you give one to a friend, just kind of like you did with those old-fashioned necklaces or bracelets where you each had a piece of it and you shared anyway. I thought that would be fun with this. So I am going to show you how to make it today. I'm making a few adjustments to it, nothing crazy. And then in the end, I use pattern paper to make these, so they're super easy. But I'm going to show you a little hack to do if you don't have this pattern paper and want to make something similar. But yeah, so let's get started. So what you're going to need is you are going to need 2 base pieces of basic black cardstock, and these are 2 inches by 5.5 inches. And then you're going to need 2 pieces of this Botanical Butterfly Designer Series paper, and this is available for free through March with any $50 purchase. You can get a pack of 12 by 12 paper. It's got all sorts of beautiful prints, and this is one of them, and on the other side it's got this fun black and white stripe. But you need 2 pieces of this paper, and it's 1 15/16 of an inch by 5 7/16 of an inch. And just to show you, that seems like a scary measurement, but all you're doing is when you take your base piece, I'm going to show you here, where it's 2 inches, see this very next tiny little line? That's where you're going to measure to cut for your designer series paper. So just 1/16 of an inch less there. And then you'll need 2 small pieces of black, basic black cardstock that measure 1 15/16 of an inch. So the same width as your designer series paper by 1/4 of an inch. And then you need a piece of Daffodil Delight and Mango Melody. You could use Granny Apple Green, Highland Heather, you could use Balmy Blue, you really could use any of those colors, but I chose these 2. And these are going to be the same width as your black paper, so 1 15/16 of an inch. And then you're just going to measure it 1/16 of an inch less here, so 1 7/16 of an inch. I know those sound crazy, but if you just start with your 2 by 5.5 and then just go down that one measurement for these, that will make it extra easy. So that is what you need there. And then I am using for my ribbon the free ribbon pack. You can get this 5-pack with a $50 purchase from Sale-A-Bration, and all of these colors coordinate with the designer series paper, but you could really use any ribbon. Now, one change that I made to make this shape and this cutout for this bookmark, I used the coordinating dies that go with the blow out the candle set. I think they're called confetti and candles, and it's got a little tag here. This is what I used to die cut. You can really use anything that you have that even sort of resembles that shape. So today I'm going to do something a little bit different. This is the Delightfully Detailed punch, and I am actually going to use the corner rounder on here and this little hole punch to make our bookmarks today, instead of using the die set here, just for something different. So that is what you need. You need your black cardstock, your designer series paper, your little paper bits, you need some adhesive, some ribbon, and this punch, and then your stamp. And the stamp that I'm using says the good things in life are better with you, and this is from the Butterfly Gala stamp set. So without further ado, let's get started. So I am going to start by gluing down my designer series paper to the back of my base here. Now you can really use any adhesive here. I like the liquid glue adhesive because you'll notice a theme with my stamping, my everything. I struggle with getting things straight. And so I like that the glue gives me a little bit of wiggle room to get things right. Some people don't like the glue because it's messy, but I mostly struggle with getting things straight. So anything, and if I'm out of the camera, you guys tell me, and if you're here, let me know, because I can't really tell who's here unless you comment. So I'd love to see if you are here. Just leave me a comment. Okay, so there we go. There are our bases. That is super easy. Now I'm going to get my punch, and I am going to determine where I want my top and my bottom to be. I think I'm going to do it like this so that it's kind of a continuing gradient. So these are my tops. So I'm going to take the top and stick it straight in here and kind of line it up in the middle the best I can. And I'm going to punch it. See, that leaves me a mark there. And then I'm going to go ahead and round these corners. You don't have to do this, but I would like to. So I'm going to round them off. I'll do one rounded and one not, just so you can see what they look like. And you can round them before you put the designer series paper on too. I'm actually going to go ahead and round all the corners on this one and then none of the corners on the other one, just so that you can get a feel for what you might like better. Okay, so there we go. There's that one and that one. This corner I didn't quite get in all the way, so let me try that again. Boom, there we go. All right. So now I'm gonna do my top for this one. Make sure it is centered. Go for it. All right. So now I am going to stamp my sentiment. It's the same sentiment on both of these. So I'm gonna ink that up. I'm just using Memento black ink. Any black ink will work for this. Just use your favorite one that you have. And then I'm just going to line that up. There we go. Boom. And then I'm going to do it again with the other one. So I'm curious if you guys have any ideas for where you would like to use bookmarks like this. Maybe some other things aside from cards that you'd like to see made. I like to make boxes and card sets. That's really fun. Clean off my stamp here. Whoa, and lose the camera. Oh my goodness, that's really exciting. Okay, let me get the camera set back up again. I'm sorry about that, guys. I have a very precarious setup going on here, and I just upset the delicate balance when I knocked it with my arm. So let me get this camera set back up. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see. This is why we all learn, right? When we're learning new things, often we make mistakes. We learn from them. Next time, we try not to make the same mistake again. That's what I always tell my boys. When they mess up, I say, okay, well, what did you learn? And then we talk about that. And then we talk about how if you learned and you know not to make that mistake again, then it really isn't entirely a loss. Okay, so I am going to put this on my little black piece here. Line that up really well. And this one I'm going to put on this and if you want to line it up, sometimes I'll do it that way, but put this on my bookmark that's more orange. See, I did just get glue everywhere. Now that I was talking about how this glue isn't a problem, that it's a little bit messy to me and I'm getting glue everywhere. It's okay though, just as long as it doesn't actually stick to something that it will mess up. That's why craft mats and scrap paper, grid paper, all that are good, because they keep our surfaces safe and in my case they make messes a little bit better. I'm a very, very, very messy crafter. I don't know, are you guys messy crafters? Or do you keep things nice and tidy? I am super messy. In real life, I am kind of a klutz, and that kind of transfers into the craft room, but that's all right, it's all good. All right, so I have these done. And then just for fun, you don't have to do this. I don't even know if this will show on the camera. I'm just gonna do it on one. But I added some Wink of Stella to my butterflies. Well, I'll do it real quick. You don't have to be super precise with this. And it adds a little bit of something extra. And then I'll see if it will show you on the camera. I'm just gonna do this really fast. And that's one thing that's great about Wink of Stella too, is that you can, for some things, do really precision, but just taking a minute and like getting some glitter on the page even a little bit can add a lot. Let's see if you can see that in the camera. Is it gonna pick it up? I don't think it's picking it up. I'm trying to catch the light. I don't think it can, but that added just a little bit of glitter, which is kind of fun for butterflies. So now I just get to pick my ribbon color, and I'm gonna go with different colors this time. Let's see. For my other ones, I did blue and yellow. So for this one, I think I'm gonna do green. It's granny apple green, and I think I'll do purple, just to kind of change it up. You could do the same if you want. So in order to loop these, I fold my ribbon in half, and I stick that through the hole. This is a little bit harder than the other hole because of the shape, but just gotta work it through. There we go. And then, see how that makes a loop? I'm gonna take these two ends, pull them through the loop. Ta-da! And then I can just cut it down to whatever size I feel like I like it there. There we go. Oh, let me get this one. I'm gonna make that angle the other direction. There we go. And for this one, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna fold my ribbon in half and then get my ribbon through the hole. And then take that loop, pull the ribbon through, pull it tight, and then I am going to cut my ribbon down. There we go. So that is it for those bookmarks. That's all there is to it. Super easy. So what I wanted to do tonight though, I see there's someone watching, but I don't know who you are, so say hello. I'm sorry that we're crooked. I had a little camera faux pas in the middle here. I wanted to show you, before I go real quick, a quick trick to get a similar look if you don't have this designer series paper. So this whole piece of paper, let's see if you can see it. I can't see it very well, but has a gradient. It goes from very Daffodil Delight yellow all the way to like this orangey pinky Grapefruit Grove color. I think that's Grapefruit Grove, or is that Mango Melody? I think it's Grapefruit Grove. Yeah, it's Grapefruit Grove. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to achieve that, a similar look with regular paper and stamps and inks. So I've started a little bit ahead so that this doesn't take a million years to show you. And what I did is I took one of my big butterflies from my Butterfly Gala stamp set. I actually, these come hooked together. I actually cut apart my small butterfly. I can put them back together using this template from the punch, just by setting my butterflies in here and then picking them up with the block. But I can use them more if I cut them apart. So I cut them apart, and so then I just took this butterfly and I stamped it with my black pimento ink all over. And this is just a loose coloring of using my Stampin' Blends or alcohol markers. You can certainly make this a lot more detailed, and you can use pretty much any medium. You do not have to use alcohol markers. And then what I'm gonna do, so pretend these are all colored. I know they're not here. Hello! Hi, Mom! You're watching. Yay! So, and don't worry about being late. I didn't really give you any kind of warning. I'm really bad about that. But So pretend these are all colored. So then we're going to take, I'm just showing how to get, just showed how to make these bookmarks, and now I'm showing how to get a similar look if you don't have this designer series paper. So then I'm going to create a mask, and so this is a full back sticky note. It has sticky the whole way, and I'm going to need a piece of paper to help me slide this in. So I am going to have, where is that paper? I'm looking for a piece of paper. Okay, well, I'll just use this. This will work. So I'll stick it on this Grapefruit Grove little piece that I have here. So I'm going to stick this sticky note in my punch. Get it all. There we go. Make sure that the sticky is totally over the butterfly, and then I'm just going to punch it. Woo! The butterfly is gonna go flying. And then I'm gonna take this off and stick it right on top of my butterfly to create a mask. And I'll do this with all of them. I'm not gonna do it with all of them right now. I'll do it with the two that I have though. So you can kind of see what I've got going on. So again, get this mask, and this is just so I can stick it in there so it doesn't really have to cover the whole thing. So when I take this, line it up, punch it out, and stick it on my butterfly. So then you would do this with all of the butterflies. And then you're going to take a sponge, dauber, a blending tool. I'm just using straight up sponges that are cut up. You can use whatever kind of blending tool that you have. And you will start by I'm getting Daffodil Delight on this one. And so I'm going to start with some Daffodil Delight. I'm going to start blending on this side. Go blend up pretty high. I'm going to come back and get some more until you're happy with the coverage and the color. And it really doesn't take a whole lot of ink on your dauber. It mostly takes patience to get the ink transferred. So you want to really take your time with it and don't feel like you have to rush it. And then I'm going to take this one and get it in Grapefruit Grove, which is the other color on our gradient. And make sure I've got it good. This is, it's a little bit harder to pick up ink from these ink spots, but it still works. Okay, so I'm going to again start off the paper and very carefully work my way up, adding more and more ink each time. Again, it's more about the persistence and continuing to go. So this might take just a minute. Let's see. Can you see what I'm doing? Am I not even doing this on camera? I'm sorry, guys. There, that's better, huh? Now you can see what I'm doing. So you're starting off the paper and you're bringing it in. And it's gonna kind of, you want it to go into the Daffodil Delight a little bit that you already did, and make sure it gets in between those masks and all around. And now remember, we're pretending like all these butterflies are masked off, not just the ones that I actually have masked off. Like I said, I just doing this live, I didn't want it to take forever to show you guys. So you do this until you're happy with your blending, and then this is where the magic comes in. You take your masks off, and I forgot to stamp the bodies of my butterflies, but I can come back and do that. That's the great thing. Don't forget to stamp your butterfly bodies. And then you have a similar look to this paper. So if you don't have the designer series paper, you can do that, and you can still make bookmarks. Yay! So that is what I have for you today. And this designer series paper is free right now with a $50 purchase. So's the ribbon that I used. And I also used today the Butterfly Gala stamp set for our sentiment. And that is pretty much it. If you guys have any questions for me, let me know. I hope this has been helpful. I really am curious if you guys see me post cards or see a card somewhere else and you want to know how to make it, or if there's a technique you know of that you are interested in, please let me know. I've got some Stamparatus videos coming up for you guys because I know you've asked for those. But I am here to help card making or paper crafting, in this case, so much easier for you. So just let me know if there's anything that you want to see, and I am happy to make it for you guys. And I'll be playing around with tutorials both on live like this and some pre-recorded tutorials, and I'm very curious what you guys think works best for you, and I'm happy to do that for you. And I think that is all that I have for you for this evening. I hope that you guys have a great day or great evening, and that you can find joy in creating as you spread kindness, encouragement with your scraps of paper. Bye!